turn, look forwards. Wide right is Donjon Marlon against Abdi and Hannibal. Now Marlon almost has Dumfries on his toes. Marlon, can he play a forward pass? Marlon being forced further back. Now drifts inside. Squares to Ake's in a bit of room in the centre. Van Dijk. Van Dijk, just under 35 yards to goal. Links up with De Jong. Square now to Ake. First time from Gakpo. His pass is cleared away. Ake backwards to Van Dijk. Tunisia just can't get out their own half here. Netherlands 2 goals to good, right in the ascendancy. So they're looking to finish top of the group. The Netherlands in possession at the back. Van Eke, although I say at the back's in the Tunisia half though. Van Dijk out to Ake. Back inside to Van Dijk. Just over 25 yards and goal. Netherlands inside left. Tiny feet from Reinders. Reinders to Van Hecke. Granberg asks for it, but instead it goes further out wide to Dumfries. Now Granberg has it. Inside right. Again, about 25 yards and goal. Ryan Granberg. Dead centre. De Jong. And now to his right to Van Hecke. Donjon Marlon. Van Hecke wants it back. Netherlands in the attacking third. It's been given to Van Hecke. Now Frenkie de Jong on the ball. Wide left is Gakpo. Can Gakpo get a ball in? Pass it around Valerie, but intercepted in the end from Talbi. Talbi clips it to Valerie. Valerie trying to hold on to the ball. 2 men around him. Valerie's pass blocked from Ake. And Tunisia appealing for handball. And those appeals are met. It did come off the right hand of Nathan Ake. Will be a free kick to Tunisia. Yeah, Tunisia have had actually 2 or 3 moments going forward, Tunisia, but just don't have the quality to take those opportunities. Now having the hydration break, which usually gets a chorus of poos from the supporters at this tournament. But so far, so good for Netherlands. Yeah, Frenkie de Jong run the midfield. Brian Brobby with his 3rd of the tournament. And Gakpo Marlon have had not the best of 23 minutes in terms of final product, creating amazing chances. But the midfield of the Netherlands looks terrific. Again, comfortable on the ball at the back. Again, it was a really good set piece for Netherlands for that Brobby goal, and a dangerous low ball from the right hand side for that own goal, just turned in by Shaqiri. Yeah, the midfield is just terrific though for Netherlands again. See Reinders, Granbert, De Jong. Of course, can't forget Toon Cook Miners on the bench as well for Netherlands. And the Netherlands attack, that's what has come under the scrutiny. And Donjon Marlon, I have to say, actually he's had fine club form coming into this tournament. He's a versatile forward, and he's been an even bigger threat since his loan from Aston Villa to Roma. Look at Xavi Simons, his form for Tottenham was less than encouraging, for example. But certainly the Dutch fans have been absolutely outstanding here. Everywhere they've been in the States, to be honest, they brought the colour, they brought the vibrancy to this competition, and the supporters have been absolutely terrific all around this tournament. It's been the United States or Mexico, Canada. It really has been a breath of fresh air. But Tunisia, you do feel for their supporters. Sabri Lamouchi just wasn't the right guy, and you do feel Hervé Renard brought in to try and make an impact, and just hasn't happened. And again, Tunisia really in this tournament relying on defending as a team, and just hasn't happened at all. And they don't really play that free-flowing style. Scoring's a major problem for Tunisia. They just want to frustrate opponents. A lot of people call it the dark arts or shenanigans, but it just hasn't worked. That the approach hasn't worked at all this tournament for Tunisia. So ready to get back on the way. Tunisia do have a free kick today. Just a reminder, Japan-Sweden is goalless. Other game in the group. So Netherlands leading Japan by points. Netherlands' goal difference is 6, Japan's is 4. So it will be a free kick now for Darman to take. Darman, search for Ben Slimani, headed away from Van Dijk. Now Brobby holds up on the halfway line. Brobby, who can he bring to play? Squares in the centre circle. He can't bring any of his teammates into play. And then just gave it to Abdi. Good turn here from Gabari. Now Brobby wins it back. Reinders on the turn. Rolls it forwards. Marlon trying to use his pace to get in behind, but good defend there from Ben Amida. Just to beat into the punch and play it back to Darman. Darman clips it with his right foot. Can Valerie win the header? Does do so against Ake. Flips further on for Ben Slimani. Mastori controls it with his midriff, just over halfway. Now Mastori moves it back to his own half. Heavy touch from Mastori. Keeps in play, then Ake picks up the ball. Now Brobby just pinning Security back with ease. And actually Brobby controlled the ball, I think, from an offside position there. So she needs to take the free kick quickly. And it is Garby. Garby, short for Valerie. Rolls it backwards to Talbi. Now Shaqiri. Shaqiri, no full pass on. Shaqiri, right-footed. Square to Talbi. She needs it back in the area. Darman, place it forwards first time. Van Dijk steps forwards now, heads it on the inside left. Gakpo holds it up. Now square for Granberg. Space open up for Netherlands. Granberg into the box. Granberg's shot takes deflection off of Ben Amida. And it'll be a corner kick on the left-hand side for Netherlands. Open up really nicely for Ryan Granberg. Again, Ben Amida just turned away from the ball. It just deflected off his right ankle. So Netherlands corner on the left-hand side. So they're looking to triple their advantage. So Tiani Reinders to take. As the rain now starts to come down there in Kansas. It was huge amount of rain for kickoff. So Reinders, short corner. Now Marlon inside left. Marlon with a curler, but miles off target. It was a good idea there from Tiani Reinders with that short corner. Daniel Marlon found that space on the inside left. 23 yards and goal, but there's a poor curling effort from Daniel Marlon. So Darman can try and look long here for Mastori, but actually goes further towards the right, looking for Ben Slimani. Actually, flick on was one, but it was from the right wing back Jan Valerie, straight out of play. And Netherlands with a throw midway inside their half for Nathan Ake to take. Gone back to De Jong. De Jong now, right footed pass. Van Ecke, Netherlands, midway inside the half. Van Ecke coming up towards halfway. Van Ecke, right footed. 7-yard pass to Dumfries. Back to Van Ecke, who's on the halfway line. Van Ecke now, looking down the right-hand side. He finds Marlon. Marlon goes across. Try for Brobby. Headed down for Gakpo. No! Orange shirt could get onto it. It's been cleared away from Ben Amida. And Dijk steps forwards and heads it square. Heavy. It was a high foot on Virgil van Dijk, so free kick given in Netherlands' favour. High foot was from Hazim Mastori. And it was a dangerous ball in for Daniel Marlon. Gakpo headed it down, but no one could get onto the end of it. Granbert's free kick midway inside the Tunisia half now. It's De Jong on the ball. Getting in midfield to Granbert. Now Brobby holds it up the side of the box. Shot first time for Dumfries, wide. I think it may have taken a deflection. So Netherlands will get a corner kick. Again, Brian Brobby just pinning centre-back again. And brought Dumfries into play. Dumfries' first-time shot did take a deflection. Netherlands corner on the near side. Half hour gone here in Kansas City. Well, the rain's coming down, not ridiculously heavy, but if there is any thunder and lightning, the game will have to be stopped. Reinders corner in, but the referee blew a whistle before Reinders took the corner, so it'll be a retake for Reinders. Bit of push and shoving going on, which the referee has to step in and make sure everything's fine. Or this corner can be properly taken. So second bite of the cherry with Tiani Reinders. Reinders corner in, punched away from Darman. Shot hit down to the ground from Marlon. And Tunisia head it out the box. Another header one from Abdin. Out falls here for Reinders, but lifts the ball straight into the arms of Darman. So Darman whacks it right footed. Looking for Hannibal, head away from Van Ecke. was their push on Hannibal. Looks like the referee has awarded a free kick in favour of Hannibal. So she thought there was enough of a shove from Gravenberg. So free kick it is for Netherlands. Just a reminder, if you are watching the game as well as listening to us, make sure you are watching it through a local broadcaster. Hannibal's free kick just over 35 yards out inside left. Now Garbi lined up the shot, but well wide in the end from Ismail Garbi. Actually opened up pretty nicely for him to take on the effort. Was still a bit of a distance though for Garbi, just over 30 yards and goal. Central position. He went for the right foot shot, but miles wide. So Bruggen's short goal kick to Jan-Paul van Ecke. De Jong. Spider sends circle, now inside it to move it along to Gravenberg. Clips now to the forward line. Headed down away from Ben Sakiri. And a cushion header to Hannibal by Garbi. It is Abdi. Abdi whips it left-footed over halfway and straight out of touch for a Netherlands throw. Just going halfway on the right-hand side. It's thrown short to Van Ecke. On halfway is De Jong. De Jong now. Just sweeps it outside the right boot to Van Dijk. Moves out the centre circle in the Tunisia half. It's square to Gravenberg. He has his right foot on top of the ball. That was now to Van Ecke. Van Dijk. And to his left to Ake. Van Dijk again. A couple yards in front of the centre circle. And about 4 yards in front of Van Dijk is De Jong. De Jong receives it. Square midfield to Gravenberg. Dumfries. Goes back into centre-back position. Van Ecke. Now Van Ecke to Marlon. Flicks to the right-hand side to Dumfries. Infield Gravenberg. Sharp turn. Gravenberg trying to stride forwards. He's tackled though in the end from Abdi. And now is Garbi. Garbi surrounded by orange shirts, but quickly squares it to Valery. Valery now looks towards the right of Mastori. Couldn't quite find him. Good idea there from Jan Valery. There's a curve run from Mastori, but Bruggen got to it in his area. Rolls it quickly now. De Jong over halfway for a centre circle. De Jong looking for Brobby. Passes too light. Cleared away to Hannibal. Hannibal holds it up halfway in his half and pushing Frankie de Jong and Hannibal. So free kick for the Netherlands. Turn Gravenberg with his right boot, just rolled it away from Ali Abdi, but Abdi actually made a really good tackle. Now Tunisia come forward here with Garbi. Garbi though stopped in his tracks from Reinders. Time for Reinders in the Netherlands penalty area, back further Bruggen. And now Van Dijk on the half turn takes out the Netherlands box, and now Nathan Ake coming up towards the halfway line. And just a very light pass to De Jong. Netherlands still in the centre circle. Reinders rolls out to Dumfries. Dumfries about 8-9 yards in the Tunisia half. Van Ecke just about level with the centre circle. Short forward pass to Dumfries, back midway in Tunisia's territory. Back to Van Ecke. Van Ecke now towards Gravenberg. Intercepted though from Ben Hamida. And now Hannibal coming towards halfway. Hannibal looking for the right pass. Hannibal drills it forwards towards the right. And now it's a run here from Valery. Can Valery get to it? It's in a foot race to Ake. Valery to get to cross him, but Valery not very powerful. Not very powerful cross from Jan Valery. Easy for Bruggen to claim. He rolls it to Jan-Paul van Ecke. Now De Jong on the half turn. De Jong in the centre circle. Netherlands now over halfway. Reinders inside left. 7-yard forward pass for Gakpo. Looks to skip inside. It's a good sound and challenge there from Garbi. So throw for Netherlands. 35 yards and goal. Okay, back to Reinders who took the throw. Van Dijk now. Pass through the centre circle in the Tunisia half to Van Ecke. 10 minutes off this half to go. Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. And Netherlands top in the group. Again, Japan have to win by a significant amount. Trying to overtake Netherlands at the moment. Good interception there from Valery from De Jong's pass, but then Valery couldn't get onto his interceptions, keeping in play. Throw for Netherlands. It's on halfway with Ake. And now De Jong trying to bend it over the top for Gakpo, but controlled in the end from Talbi. Here's Valery. Valery pass down the right, and it takes a nick off Frankie de Jong. So Tunisia have a throw midway in their half. Jan Valery to take. does have the option of Monsar Talbi in behind him in space. I think Valery will definitely throw it down the line. Controlled here from Mastori. First time passing halfway from Khedira to his partner midfield Gabi, who's midway inside his half now. Gabi prods it back to Talbi. Now Sakiri lets it run under his legs. Sakiri turns, takes out the box. Sakiri slips. Now his pass does go onto the chest of Hannibal on the left hand side. Tunisia midway in their half. Bended ball from Ben Hamida, now controlled on the halfway line. And there's a poor pass there from Khedira, but equally poor pass from Ake when he did intercept that Khedira pass. Now Hannibal, a bit of time on the ball. Hannibal, 30 yards and goal. Hannibal now forwards on the left hand side. Now Abdi into the box. Abdi cuts it back. Can't find Ben Samani because De Jong was there to intercept. Graham Burke now to Dumfries. And Marlon pretty deep inside his half, but Marlon gets a pass off to Graham Burke. And now Graham Burke being pulled back here by Ben Hamida. And the referee blew a whistle for a clear foul. Now, will Ben Hamida escape a card? I think so, but it'd be a strong warning for sure. It was a clear pull back from Mohamed. Ben Hamida. Graham Burt's a free kick taken from Netherlands backline. Van Dijk to Ake. Ake just over halfway, just taking a leisurely stroll with the ball at the moment. Now Van Dijk back in the centre circle in possession. Van Hecke. Van Hecke picks out De Jong. Now square to Ake. De Jong again. De Jong. Now Dumfries has Marlon just ahead of it. Netherlands now level with the penalty area. Marlon trying to take it around Abdi. Abdi gets himself in between man and ball. Abdi clears. It didn't take the deflection off of Marlon. Throw for Netherlands. 38 minutes on the clock. Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. Shaqiri on goal, and Brian Brobbery, the third of the competition, has Netherlands 2 goals in front. Throw for Tank for Netherlands. Now Dumfries back to Van Hecke. Again, Netherlands backline pushed high. So Van Dijk in the Tunisia half. Just under 35 yards to goal. Now Van Hecke. Pass down that right hand side to Dumfries. Back to Van Hecke. Van Dijk asks for it, receives it. Virgil van Dijk. Just under 35 yards and goal. To his right to Van Hecke. Van Hecke looks at Martin the forward line. Clearance from Tunisia. Takes deflection. Their own man, and now it's a tackle from Hannibal Marlon. It is Tunisia in their own box here with Abdi. And now Shaqiri goes to the diagonal. Control from Valery. Valery inside. Gives it away. Now to Reinders. Reinders on the stretch. Brobby. Cushion the pass back to Graham Burke. Graham Burke goes to the shot. But he was leaning back way too far. As the shot went high over the bar. Opened up nicely for Ryan Graham Burke to take on. Just couldn't keep it down. Tunisia on the far side. A real mess of trying to clear it. Ben Hamida, awful attempt at a clearance. So goal kick taken towards Mastori. First touch wasn't bad, but Van Hecke takes it away from him. With Verbrugge. First time for Van Hecke to Van Dijk. Frenkie de Jong into the centre circle. De Jong's over halfway. The Netherlands have scored all their attempts on target so far. They've had 10 in total. Tunisia registering 4 shots, just a 1 on target. Van Hecke finds Van Dijk in the centre circle. Van Hecke again. Now Van Hecke drills it diagonally towards the box, and it was always sailing over the advanced run of Tiani Reinders. Good idea to go for the diagonal pass. Reinders just couldn't quite be found. 5 minutes is half to go. Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. Goal kick from Darman, stepping onto it. It's Ake. Now Netherlands in the attacking third. Reinders into the box, sets up for Gakpo. And that's a good work there from Darman to get his hand to it, to take it away from Gakpo. Now Tunisia taking out the box. Here Valery. Gabi now. Valery down the right hand side. Running behind for Ben Slimani. Van Dijk beats him to the punch. And Van Dijk just nicely weighted past the De Jong run onto it. Now Netherlands just in front of their box with Frenkie de Jong. So it's de Jong to Graham Burke. Graham Burke's pass cuts up for Ben Slimani, but Graham Burke on the ball again and does have time. Speaking of time, Frenkie de Jong in the centre circle, absolutely no one around him. Netherlands just over halfway, Dumfries, back to De Jong. Square to Granberg. Now to the left. Gap closed just under midway in the Tunisia half. Gap closed to Ake. Again in the middle. Frankie De Jong deep as the midfield three. De Jong now looks to play that pass into the box, cleared away only as far as Brobby. Brobby holds it up. Brobby shot for a tight angle. It was a good block there from Ben Amida. Now Abdi. Pass down left to Hannibal. Tunisia midway inside the half. Hannibal. 3 Netherlands players close to it. Hannibal now keeping it away from Dumfries, who's pushed high. Back here to Ben Amida. Ben Amida clips it towards halfway, but headed down from Van Dijk. And now it's Van Ecke. 3 yards into the Tunisia half. Van Ecke line breaking pass. Marlon takes it in a central position. Marlon bursting towards the box. Still Marlon. Donja Marlon. Still Marlon. Now rolls it for gap post. Marlon was challenged. Gap post. Clip cross headed away from Shaqiri. Tunisia clear further, only as far as Ake. Ake just over 25 yards and goal. Netherlands inside left for Reinders. 3 minutes of this half to go. Gakpo into his right foot, edge of the box now. Gakpo cross towards the back stick. Header from Granberg, keeps it alive. No run in the middle though. That Granberg header went in behind of everyone, and Garby clears it back into opposition territory. Verbruggen steps onto the ball now. Van Ecke on the halfway line. Van Dijk in the centre circle. Van Dijk moves it onto De Jong. Van Dijk again. Now Ake. Netherlands inside left, 35 yards and goal with Reinders. Netherlands comfortable midfield here. It's De Jong on the ball. Dumfries backwards to Van Ecke. But Netherlands are comfortable on the ball all over the pitch really. And Van Dijk taps it to Van Ecke. Netherlands 30 yards and goal. Gamble Van Ecke. Behind him to his partner Van Dijk. De Jong forwards now. Drobby trying to lay it off, but no one was there to pick it up. Now Tunisia on the far side. Was that a foul there from Brian Brobby? It wasn't. Benzema peeling for a free kick. Nothing in his favour. Okay to Van Dijk. Netherlands aren't too close towards goal. Netherlands just over 30 yards from the target. Van Dijk in the centre. Now De Jong onto his right foot. De Jong scoops it to the right hand side of the box. Controlled there for Granberg. Granberg shot on target. But straight at the goalkeeper. It's a nice first touch. In fact, actually, it was Dumfries, beg your pardon, who took on the shot there. Nice first touch from Dumfries, but shot straight at Darman. Here's Khedira for Tunisia. And now Shaqiri. Hannibal halfway. Can Tunisia pull one back before the break? Hannibal, right foot pass. That's a nice ball to find Benzema inside right. Now further out on that right is Valerie, but the offside flag actually goes up against the Tunisians with the last minute of normal time of this first half to go. The Netherlands are 2 goals in front. Japan-Sweden is goalless, by the way. And Japan will be finishing second on 5 points. Sweden will be on 4. Van Ecke, it's a ball fizzed down the far side. Dumfries runs onto it. Dumfries cross, not a lot of power. And just passed in defeat of Abdi in the end for Ben Amida. Hannibal now. Deep side his half. Hannibal. The ball just scooped short to him for Khedira. Hannibal turns into trouble. Van Ecke wins the challenge. Van Ecke preserves it. Netherlands just the front halfway with Granberg. Now Van Dijk. Ake in the centre circle. Nathan Ake. A few touches with his right foot. And moved along now to Granberg. Netherlands. Attacking third inside right with Granberg. Granberg. His right foot on top of the ball. Pass back 4 yards to his right to Dumfries. Marlon. Back to Dumfries. We're now in first half. Stoppage time. Just the 3 minutes added on here as the rain's lightly coming down in Kansas City at the moment. Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. Dumfries. Gets the pass back in the Netherlands half to Van Ecke. Van Dijk on the half turn by the centre circle. Ake on halfway. Nathan Ake. And gives it to De Jong by the centre circle. De Jong with tiny feet. Van Dijk now short square to Van Ecke in the centre circle. Van Ecke. Full pass move to the right wing to Marlon. Running behind the Dumfries. Now Dumfries almost found for Marlon. Marlon's short pass wasn't accurate enough. That attempted combination play just broke down. And Brian Brobby did have that shot 2 minutes back, which is well blocked actually by Ben Hamida. Robbie's certainly in the mood. First minute of the 3-up. Stoppage time. It's opening 45, Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. Netherlands bring it out their box of Van Dijk. And now De Jong. Coming towards halfway into the Tunisia half. Now in the centre with De Jong onto his right foot. It's to Ake. It's left there for Gakpo. Gakpo. His strength against Valerie. De Jong, defence midfield. De Jong right footed. Now Netherlands just about the attack there with Dumfries. Dumfries doesn't have a forward pass on. Still looking. Dumfries now has a very short one on in Marlon. Marlon just goes backwards to Van Ecke. Graham Burke asking for it. But Van Ecke actually bypassed and then flicks it back to Graham Burke when he realised there wasn't that right forward pass on. And right square to Ake. Ake, 35 yards from goal. Virgil van Dijk into the last minute of first half stoppage time. Can Netherlands get goal number 3? Van Ecke to Dumfries. First time ball in. Headed away though from Ben Hamida. Now Hannibal. And square across the middle of the Tunisia half to Ben Slimani. Ben Slimani over halfway. Has the support and run of Valerie. Eventually given to Valerie. He got himself on side. Valerie cutting in. And now Hannibal. 25 yards and goal inside right. Cross towards the back post. Let's head up into the air from Abdi. Abdi now plays it back to Ben Hamida. Ali Abdi again. Looking for help Abdi. To go behind him in midfield to Hannibal. Tunisia inside left. Garbi into the box. Garbi almost got the ball stuck on his foot. Garbi's pass now held up in the middle here. From Astori gets it taken away from Van Dijk. Hannibal heads forwards. Actually volleyed backwards from Garbi. Cushion header from Ben Hamida. Have just 2 seconds to go. Hannibal looks to fall past the right side of the box, but straight out of bounds. And there goes the half-time whistle in Kansas City, where Netherlands are doing their job to top the group. 2 early goals. Shaqiri with the own goal, cross in for the right-hand side. Shaqiri turned it into his own net. Now Robbie lurking in behind, but Robbie did get his goal, his 3rd of the tournament. A well-worked free kick, just 4 minutes later. Free kick in from Reinders. Van Dijk peeled off his man, square head, and Robbie side-footed it in with power to the back of net. Tunisia have had a few moments come forward, but haven't really tested Bart Verbruggen. It's a half-time in Kansas City. It's Tunisia 0, Netherlands 2. Hello and welcome back to the pouring rain here in Kansas City, where Netherlands are topping the group as things stand. There are 2 goals to good against Tunisia, both early goals. Shaqiri, the opening goal, it was an own goal in the 3rd minute, crossing with Dumfries, and Shaqiri sliced it into his own net, and 4 minutes later, Brian Brobby with his 3rd of the competition. Reinders dinked in the free kick, Van Dijk headed across the box, and Brobby ciphers them with plenty of power. Tunisia ready to get us underway. Second half, they're just taking the kick-off bit too early for the referee's liking. So it will be a second bite the cherry. Referee looks concerned over something. I mean, the rain is coming down pretty heavy here in Kansas City. I don't think that is actually the issue. That is there a player that is late coming on the pitch. I think at least Shaqiri is finally. So actually, Shaqiri wasn't on the pitch for Tunisia. That was the issue. So we're back on the way now for the second half here in Kansas City. Just a reminder, if you are watching the game as well as listening to us, make sure you are watching it through your local broadcasters. Back here with Darman, the Tunisia goalkeeper. Long now towards Hannibal, head away from Van Dijk. Flick on with Gakpo, probably can't quite get to it. It's cleared away from Shaqiri. Long and back now for Verbruggen to take comfortably. Roll to Van Hekke. Van Hekke, right footed. Here is Denzel Dumfries. Back to Jan-Paul Van Hekke. Van Hekke, now Van Dijk. On halfway's Ake. Ake left footed. Gakpo, Van Dijk again. He's in the centre circle. In this half, Van Dijk square to Van Hekke. Van Hekke now looks forwards on the right. Dumfries into the attacking third. Now inside, Granberg holding off Khedira. Holds off and goes backwards to Van Hekke. About 3 yards in front of halfway. It's in the centre circle in the Tunisia half with Van Dijk. Open minute of the second half played. Van Hekke moves forwards, 35 yards from goal. Looks towards the forward line, cleared away though. Tunisia, that's a poor pass from Khedira in midfield. And Netherlands have it back. Dumfries, Marlon taps it back to Dumfries. Marlon again. Marlon now backwards to Van Hekke. Netherlands still in the Tunisia half. Now Van Hekke forwards, controlled there from Dumfries, keeping away from Hannibal. Back to Van Hekke, first time. Virgil van Dijk, just under 40 yards from goal, plays it through the legs of De Jong. Ake, a light pass down left. Gakpo returns it back towards Ake, and instead it's Reinders who controls. Reinders being harassed from Garby, and Garby had a fistful of Reinders' shirt, but I think the offside flag was actually up against Reinders first. So Tunisia have got the free kick. They're taking it from Talbi. So Talbi clips it right footed. Can he find Hannibal? Van Dijk wins that aerial duel. Drops it to Valerie. Valerie takes heavy touch. Ake steps in with the challenge. The Netherlands have it back in midfield with Reinders. Now they're playing it across the back. Netherlands with Van Hekke to Dumfries. Dumfries just moves in a central position from full-back. Binds with Van Hekke. And now here is Netherlands with De Jong squaring halfway to Ake. 2.5 minutes played the second half. 2 is the amount of goals that Netherlands have over Tunisia. They're both very early ones. Ake level with the centre circle, right footing. Short to Gakpo. Ake again. Ake left footing. So Van Hekke on the ball in the centre circle. Van Hekke now rolls it forwards on the right hand side to Dumfries. Here is Donjon Marlon, just under 30 yards from goal. De Jong again being harassed here from Garby, but keeps away from Garby. Now short forward pass on left from Ake. Edge of the box is Gakpo. Gakpo skips inside. Onto his right foot. Clips it towards the back post. Will it drop it for Dumfries? Dumfries smash it up into the air. Way too heavy though from Dumfries. And that bounces out for Tunisia throw. And Dumfries actually a bit surprised that fell to him. Smashed it on the byline, but way too heavy there. Well, Van Hekke at the highest percentage of passes for Netherlands, 20% of them. He's been heavily involved. So flick on to Hannibal from the Tunisia throw. It's a flick on one for Mastori. That's actually a push on Mastori. So the referee is blown up for Tunisia free kick. The rain's certainly coming down heavier in Kansas City than it did in the first half. Here's Talby, which is a short free kick. Now Valery back inside to Talby. Talby's over halfway. And now it is Tunisia moving down left-hand side. Ball towards Garbi for Ben Slimani. Van Dijk knocks it out for throw. Did it possibly take the deflection off Garbi? It did indeed, actually. So it's a throw for Netherlands. Throw taken back to Van Dijk. Van Hekke. Midway inside his half. Stops the ball now right-footed. Moves it along to Van Dijk. Van Dijk just behind the centre circle. Back square to Van Hekke. Van Hekke slowly enters the Tunisia half. Just roll to Van Dijk in the centre circle. Two's left to Ake. Just the front and halfway. Square to De Jong. De Jong now brings Robbie into play. Square here for Reinders. Reinders whips it towards the right-hand side. It's way too far in front of Denzel Dumfries. It was a good idea there from Reinders to whip the ball towards that space, but I'm not sure the fastest man in the world could have got there. So Darman with the goal kick, headed down from Van Dijk. That's a sloppy pass there from Valery. Now lift over halfway from Reinders. Gakpo about 7 yards in the Tunisia half. Gakpo tackle, but now gets it back and gives it to Ake. Just in front of halfway is Granberg. Turns onto his right foot. Now Van Hekke moves out the centre circle. Jean-Paul Van Hekke down the inside right. Now first time pass from De Jong. Marlon cuts in. Donjon Marlon. Tricky feet from Marlon just behind the D. Stopped in the tracks on his far as Reinders. It was Ben Slimani made the challenge. Now ball in for Netherlands, headed away. Only as far as Dumfries. Shot blocked. And now Tunisia get it clear through Abdi. Should have been 3-0 to Netherlands there. Mastori flicks on, goes down. There's a nudge from Van Hekke, nothing given. What a chance to Dumfries in the middle of the penalty area to make it 3-0. It was a brilliant block. Now Mastori down holding his head, so Gakpo balling outside the boot, flicked, and it was only as far as Dumfries. Dumfries' shot looked to be blocked there by Sakiri, I think. It was an excellent block. It was Sakiri. It was Sakiri who blocked his back, and Sakiri has his numbers hanging off the back of his shirt. Not unstable at all. Tunisia go long for Darman, but just control for Van Hekke. With Nathan Ake walking towards halfway. Now he's in the Tunisia half. Finds Van Hekke in the centre circle. Van Hekke right-footed. 10 yards forward to Dumfries. Back to Van Hekke. Netherlands inside right now. Granberg rolls it forwards. Dumfries. That's a good challenge there from Ben Hamida. Strong one, but definitely on the ball. There's a throw to Netherlands. Dumfries takes the throw to Granberg. Van Hekke. Roger Van Dijk. The Netherlands defences push into the Tunisia half. Van Hekke inside right. Dumfries level the penalty area down the right hand side for Granberg. Granberg on the byline, but it's a light cross though. Now Hannibal brings out the area. It's Hannibal to Garbi. Now Hannibal striding towards halfway. It's looking promising this for Tunisia. Hannibal. And rolls it square. Now, and he's Ben Slimani. Valery, right side of the box. Valery, low ball in, but Van Hekke, right place at the near post and knock it out for a corner kick. That was really promising there from Tunisia on the counter-attack. And Valery just didn't quite get the power he was hoping for on that cross. But Tunisia do have a corner on the far side. 8 minutes into the second half. Tunisia 0. Netherlands 2. As it sounds, Tunisia have a goal difference of -10. It has been a miserable tournament for them. So, corner kick for Hannibal to take. Looked like it would be an outswinger on the Tunisian number 10. Hannibal delivers. Headed towards goal. Tunisia have hope. It's the number 9. Hazim Mastori, who flicks in. Lovely corner from Hannibal. And Mastori, that's the man he needs to look to. He needs to take advantage of these set-piece situations. That's exactly what Mastori did there. Just peeled off the back of Tiani Reinders caught the header sweetly into Verbruggen's bottom right-hand corner. Verbruggen nowhere near it, and certainly can't blame the goalkeeper there at all. Lovely header by Mastori, and Tunisia half the deficit. 54 minutes played. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 2. There is going to be a VAR check. I have to say, at naked eye, I didn't really see anything wrong with that goal. We'll wait and see as to what they're talking to the referee, Canty Garcia, about. This is just telling the players what's going on. As you receive confirmation that it will definitely be a goal for Tunisia. So back on the way, and Netherlands just need to keep their cool here, the lead. Granberg squared to Van Dijk, but certainly makes things interesting. 10 minutes in the second half, and Tunisia right back in this one. A really nice header from Mastori. Van Dijk now forwards to Gakpo, back to Ake. Van Dijk in the centre circle. Tapped it to Van Hecke. Van Hecke now right-footed, Dumfries looks inside, Marlon controls. Marlon, 2 men around him. Hannibal forcing Marlon to go back to Van Dijk, just in front of the centre circle. Square to Ake. Now Gakpo facing up Valerie. And Gakpo get a ball in, 2 men around him. Back to Ake. De Jong, just under 30 yards from goal. De Jong, right-footed, back out to the right flank, left flank to Gakpo. Gakpo surrounded by white shirts, cut back Ake. Ake's ball in too heavy towards the back post and cleared behind for a corner kick, and there should have been better communication from the Tunisian defence, because Abdi could have left that for a goal kick but decided to volley up for a corner because no one let him know that there was no one in behind him. So corner kick for the Netherlands to take on the right hand side. So the rain still coming down heavily in this second half. So Reinders to deliver. Reinders corner flicked away. That falls here for Granberg, just over 25 yards from goal. Granberg plants the pass out to the right to Reinders. Infield to Van Hecke. Van Hecke turns, not forward pass on. So rolls it back here to Granberg on halfway. Square into the centre circle to his fellow central midfielder Frenkie de Jong. Granberg again, tapped over halfway to Van Hecke. Van Hecke turns. And now here's Granberg. De Jong on the half turn. Frenkie de Jong left-footed. Granberg. Now here's Van Hecke. Netherlands back in the centre circle. Van Dijk moves it along to his left to Ake. Gakpo midway in the Tunisian half. Rolls it infield to de Jong. Van Dijk now plays it through the centre circle. Van Hecke turns on his right foot. And now Dumfries just has to go back to Van Hecke. It was good pressing there from Abdi. Netherlands just enjoying possession now. After being a bit rocked by that Mastori header. Take control midfield again. Reinders to Van Hecke. Rolls it forwards on the right for Marlon. Marlon moving inside, but again Hannibal closing down the space, and Marlon goes further and further back. Now level with the centre circle, Marlon. Van Hecke, now inside of it is Van Dijk. Van Dijk, left-footed. Now Van Hecke hits it outside of his right to Dumfries. First time pass down the line, intercepted there from Abdi. And now Abdi's pass cut out from Granberg. And Netherlands, you can see the throw in midway in their half, in the Tunisian half. Throw taken, now held up here from Mastori. Then Hannibal bundled down from Van Hecke just over halfway. Japan leads Sweden by 1-0. So it is Netherlands and Japan tied on 7 points and tied on goal difference as well with 5 each. So things certainly interesting in the race for top spot in this group. Short free kick for Tunisia. Hannibal out here to Valerie midway in the Netherlands half. Backwards to Talbi. Valerie. Now behind him to Talbi. So Hannibal now with the switch. Can't find Abdi though, headed away from Dumfries. And then Marlon turns in his half and brought down to the ground from Khedira. And will the referee brandish yellow card towards Rani Khedira? Don't think so. It is arms around the waist of Donjon Marlon. Ronald Koeman furious. The referee hasn't given the yellow. Van Hecke, short free kick. Van Dijk walks into the centre circle. Van Hecke 2 or 3 yards in front of halfway. Into his right foot. Van Hecke now finds Marlon, but Marlon miscontrols on that right flank in the attacking third. Have the back foot Ben Hamida. Ben Hamida controls, flicked off Mastori, no one behind him. The Netherlands have it. Again, about 4 yards in front of halfway with the number 4. And the captain, Virgil van Dijk, dreaming of lifting the trophy come the end of the summer. Who knows his Reinders on the left wing now, combines a Gakpo. Reinders on the byline. Reinders cuts it back. Ake in the box, touch it on. And a chance here for Gakpo's second on a shot. It's blocked. It's looped up in the air, bouncing out to the right wing. Marlon beaten to it, cleared away from Abdi, but has conceded the throw. Chance there for Gakpo's, but just over the hour mark here in Kansas City. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 2. Reminder, Japan leads Sweden by goals to nil. So that means Sweden won't be guaranteed of going through in that third spot. So stood at half time. Throw taken from Netherlands, cleared away now to Mastori. He miscontrols in his own half. Now De Jong. And forwards on the right for Marlon. Adjacent to the penalty area. Marlon scoops it towards the back post and it's headed behind for a corner kick by Jan Valery. So Hervé Renard must be a little bit more pleased with this second half, although it's not going to save a miserable tournament for Tunisia. Guaranteed of finishing bottom of this Group F. So corner kick on left for Netherlands. They're looking for their 2-goal advantage back, which they earned inside the opening 7 minutes. Tiani Reinders in swing corner, flick is the back of the net, and they do have that 2-goal cushion back. Tunisia appealing for a foul. It was Van Hecke who flicked it the near post into the top right-hand corner. Van Hecke with a fist bump towards the orange shirts in the crowd. Hope short-lived for Tunisia. Lovely header from Jan-Paul Van Hecke. Reinders corner, Van Hecke rose. And Tunisia, they tried to keep it out. It came off the top of Anis Ben Slamane's head. But Van Hecke just rose at the near post, got the perfect power to head it across the face of goal. There was no way Ben Slimane was going to get the right contact to prevent that from going into the back of the net. Tunisia appealing for a foul. I have no idea what they're appealing for. There was no clear foul at all. And it's Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. Not great news for Japan in their pursuit of winning Group F. Back now with Darman. Headed down for Van Hecke in the centre circle. Now Marlon. Marlon to his left to Gakpo. And now maybe a chance for Reinders to take on a shot. Reinders space closing down for him, but Reinders still has it in the box. Reinders flicks in the air. Volleyed away to safety from Ben Slimane. Stepping onto it is Dumfries in the middle. Now Ake back in the centre circle for the latest goal scorer for Netherlands, Jan-Paul Van Hecke. Here's Nathan Ake, left foot on top of the ball. Now into midfield to De Jong. First time the inside left for Reinders. Back here for Ake. Nathan Ake saves about 40 yards from goal. In the centre circle now with Van Hecke. Square on is Van Dijk. Captain lays it back to Van Hecke. Van Hecke prods it to Granberg, who's just ahead of halfway. Van Dijk turns in the centre circle back into his half. And now Van Hecke again. Van Hecke over halfway fizzes. A low right-footed pass to Marlon. Down the line to Dumfries. That's a really good challenge there from Ben Hamida on Dumfries. And now it is Ben Hamida coming away with the ball. Still Benamida towards halfway, lays off to Hannibal. Hannibal now coming towards halfway. Hannibal drifts inside. Benamida looks to combine Hannibal. Good intercept from there from De Jong. Then De Jong anticipated the contact for Benamida. It was actually quite a heavy shove there for Benamida. So Sweden have equalised against Japan by way in the other game in the group. So things getting very interesting in the race for qualification. It was Antti Alanga with his second goal of the competition. Again, such a goal-dry season. His big move to Newcastle, but he's firing this World Cup now. Brilliant tackle for Tunisia in the middle of their half. Now Hannibal out towards the right-hand side to Valerie. And filled to the Tunisian goal scorer Mastori. Mastori goes to the shot, 25 yards out, inside right, but yeah, shot not with a lot of power, easy for Bruggen to gather. So, as it stands, Netherlands top of Group F on 7 points, Japan second on 5, Sweden third on 4, and that would mean Sweden would go through in that third spot with 4 points. Ecuador went through earlier on the same amount of points. Nice turn from Frankie de Jong. Holding off Gabi. 25 minutes to go in Kansas City. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. Gakpo to De Jong. De Jong, 30 yards and goal, clips over the top. Punch away for the goalkeeper, and it's fast Reiners. Reiners lifts up the other side of the bar, probably can't get to it. And Benamida heads out the box. Headed back into the area from Ake. Reiners now, cross in towards the back post. Dumfries heads across the face of goal. And no one could get to it. When Dumfries kept it alive, it's going to be Tunisia throw on the right-hand side. And Netherlands having so much fun now. Awful punch from Darman. And he was caught in no man's land. Reiners lifted it towards goal, came off the underside of the bar. And Robbie couldn't get onto the bouncing ball. And Netherlands still kept the pressure alive, but the cross just a moment ago. It's far too heavy. So we're now approaching the hydration break here in Kansas City. There's Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3, so triple substitution coming up now for Tunisia. So first on, so first player off is Khedira. So Rani Khedira looks to be coming off here for Haj Mahmoud. So Haj Mahmoud, first player on for Tunisia. Next player off is Ben Slimane. Will be Elias Achuri on his place. And Benamida, last player off for Mutada Ben Uanes. So trio subs now made for Tunisia. And will be a throw for Jan Valerie to take. Valerie's throw. The one from Ake. Another header from Tunisia. Now control from Hannibal. Turns into trouble. Ake wins the tackle now. Here come Netherlands inside left. Marlon driving forwards. Past the Brobby. Brobby back towards goal. Leaves it. Shot from Reiners. Pushed away. And now Tunisia can get it clear through Talby. Headed back forwards from Granberg. De Jong, left side of the box. Now left edge of the area is Gakpo. Return to De Jong. On the line of the area. Cross towards back post towards Brobby. Headed away on Tunisia, and then Granberg fighting to win it back. Puts a tackle in. And he does win the throw. Or Dumfries appealing for the throw. He's saying it came off Achuri last. It looks like it's been given in favour of Tunisia. Now the hydration break is happening. And Netherlands come into it in a great position. And 3-1 to the good. And certainly they had that scare. They had it from Mastori, but excellent ball from Tiani Reiners. He's putting some excellent deliveries tonight. Reiners and Van Acker. Powerful header across the face of goal into the roof and net. Netherlands will be believing that they can maybe be a dark horse to go far in this year's tournament. Who knows? They dream of winning this competition. Well, the first ever time they were finalists back-to-back in 74 and 78. And they had that heartbreak not qualifying for the 2018 tournament. And they made the quarters last time out, losing to the eventual winners, Argentina, on penalties. It was such a dramatic quarter-final. But again, the attack was looked at as a weakness, but Brian Brobby really stepped up to the plate for sure, and it's 3 goals. Just giving so much confidence. And I have to say, if the Dutch aren't going to have a penalty shootout this tournament, not commentating great form, as I mentioned, lost Argentina. Had a recent spot get lost to Spain as well. So Netherlands making a triple substitution. Tricenter, Sonville, Toon, Koopmeiners and Justin Kluivert to come on. There's some name by the way to have on the back of his shirt. Kluivert following the footsteps of his dad Patrick to play a major tournament for Netherlands in Somerville. These are netted already this tournament, and scoring twice in Japan and Sweden. So for Netherlands, the first man off is Donjan Malen, and will be Justin Kluivert, the first man to go on the field. So next player off is Frankie de Jong, ran the midfield tonight. Soon Koopmeiners on in his place. And Sunville, the last man on. Tiani Reinders off. Reinders again. Some excellent set pieces, some good long busting runs. Into the attacking third as well from central midfield. So just 2 subs available for Netherlands as Abdi is ready to take the throw for Tunisia, but now throwing straight back to Netherlands, and Sonville gets his first touch, combined with Brobby on the right wing. And roll back for Gravenberg. Now it's on halfway with Van Hecker. Into the centre circle where Van Dijk is located. Forwards from Ake. Gakpo. A roll down the right. Netherlands in the attacking third. Kluivert with his first touch to Nathan Ake. Kluivert again. Puts to Van Dijk. Now Van Hecker. So a roll pass on the right flank to Somerville. Sonville, 2 men around, and Sonville now trying to get on the outside and get a cross in. That's a back for Dumfries. Let's run across and pass it inside. Intercepted though from Mastori. Mastori forwards, and that's good strength there for Denzel Dumfries to win it back off of Ismail Garbi. It's all the way with that for Bruggen. Back with Bruggen inside his deep. Van Hecker strides over halfway. Now forwards for Dumfries to run onto. Dumfries chops inside. Dumfries tackle from Abdi. And the lineswoman moves the flag to right for Netherlands' throat. Dumfries throws it back for Van Hecker. 73 minutes on the clock. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. Sonville, edge of the box, trying to roll it through, but it's been cut out. Now Ashuri to the feet of Garbi. Garbi inside. It will be a free kick here for Tunisia. Foul on Benoanes. So Tunisia take the quick free kick. It's a pass from the back from Sakiri. Hannibal. It's back here with that. Oh yeah, Sakiri. Go across the back line to Talbot. Now here's Netherlands on the ball with Sakiri. In possession is Mahmoud. Cutting inside is Hannibal. Midway in his half. Back backwards now to Sakiri. Short pass Hannibal. Nice turn there for Hannibal against Cook Miners. Cook Miners just caught the ankle of Hannibal. So a free kick for Tunisia. They'll be making their 4th substitution. Ismail Garbi making way, and Firas Shawat to be the latest Tunisian player to come on the Kansas City field. Disappointing night for Garbi in that middle. So it's a short free kick from Tunisia. And Abdi asking for it from Ben Awanes. And Awanes goes back now to Sakiri. Square to Valerie. Is it just behind him for Hannibal? Hannibal. And now another pass backwards from Tunisia. It's in the centre circle. It's played square. To left hand side to Abdi. Abdi midway in the Netherlands half. Hold up here from Ashuri. Nice Ashuri now. Back to Talbot. Tunisia in the centre circle with Shaqiri. Shaqiri through the middle. It's a real nice turn from Ashuri. Ashuri, was he pulling the box there from Graham Burton? Nothing given. And now Van Ecke. Van Ecke dispossessed from Mastori. Hannibal inside right, coming towards the box. Valerie on the overlap. Hannibal cuts in. Hannibal shot tipped over from Barford Bruggen. Caught now left here in Kansas City. And Tunisia got absolutely nothing to lose. Might as well try and go for a couple of goals to try and get points onto their name in this competition. But Ashuri stride into the box. Well, there was a pull. It was actually from Dumfries, but was it enough for Ashuri to go down the way he did? Hannibal cut in a moment ago. Probably a save for the cameras there from Bart Briggan, actually. Simple tip over the bar. What's that to make it? So corner on the right for Hannibal to take. So Hannibal now right arm raised. Hannibal delivers. Flicked away from Van Dijk. Control from Ashuri. Ashuri shot powerful but straight into the Netherlands supporters behind the goal. Nice Ashuri. Nice first touch with his right foot. Again, just got that first touch spot on, but leaning back way too far when he did take on the effort. And was trying to reduce the deficit to 1 again. Brian Brobby. Another excellent game from him. And it is Memphis Depay on this place, but Brobby leading that line superbly. He's got everything, the hold-up play, the goals through to his name in this competition. Got Netherlands second in 7 minutes this evening. Van Dijk in the centre circle. Ake on halfway. Short forward pass for Ali Gakpo. Now De Jong to Kluivert. Kluivert turns. Kluivert caught his ankle there. And it was a foul. Sure from Mastori. So free kick for Netherlands to take. I think Cook Miners will be the man to take this. Just over 35 yards from goal. Inside left. Just a reminder, by the way, if you are watching the game as well as listening to us, I'm sure you are watching the game through your local broadcaster. Free kick for Netherlands. And as I mentioned a moment ago, just over 35 yards and goal. Cook Miners left-footed ball in. Header for Van Dijk straight at Darman though. Rose above his man well, Van Dijk, but yeah, very easy for Darman to gather. Van Dijk scoring that opening game against Japan, who won all with Sweden at the moment. Darman's long ball headed away at the back, and it will be a free kick to Netherlands. Again, it's Mahmoud who's unhappy with that decision. Free kick taken short from Ake. -2 Van Hecke. Now Van Hecke, right footed, rolled across the centre circle to Van Dijk. And halfway with Ake on the left. And moves it on to Gakpo. Over midway inside the Tunisia half. Tricky feet from Gakpo. Now down the line, level the penalty area is Reinders. Reinders now, he's challenged. Kluivert should say. Not his challenge because Reinders came off. Kluivert coming on, and Kluivert Looks like he just won a throw, not a free kick. I'm not saying he was fouled, but the referee thought that Mahmoud did win the ball. So, oh no, it's a free kick. So the referee has given a free kick for Netherlands. So free kick to be taken on the left-hand side, level with the corner of the area for Cook Miners to deliver. Netherlands in search of going 4-1 up to wrap this game up completely. Free kick comes in. Van Ecke wins the header. Ake leaning back and heads it onto the roof and net. It was a pretty dangerous free kick in from Cook Miners. Headed on to Van Ecke's head, but yeah, Van Ecke leaning back. Couldn't generate the power and direction he wanted to try and test the goalkeeper. So Tunisia take the short goal kick. Hannibal moves inside. Now Ben Owana is calling for it. Hannibal towards centre, can't find a Shuri. Intercepted and then cleared from Van Dijk. On the bounce, smash forwards from Shaqiri. Van Dijk steps onto it. That's a really nice roll pass to Memphis Depay, but Depay undercut that pass to Kleiber on the inside left, and now Tunisia come away with it. And here's Hannibal on the halfway line. Under pressure is opposite number Depay. And cleared away for a throw for Nathan Ake. Hannibal attempted the pass down the right channel, so just under 10 minutes of normal time left in Kansas City. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. So throw back to Hannibal. Now is Shaqiri. Old Tunisia dink over halfway for Abdi, chested down from Grambert, flick from Dumfries. Grambert turns in between two players. Grambert slips. Now Ashuri gets onto it. Mastori forwards. That's moved wide left to Abdi on the byline. Abdi's balling, but the flag has gone up against Tunisia. And it was looking promising for a second, but it was a clear offside against Abdi, so officials certainly got that one right. So Netherlands to take the free kick short. Van Ecke to Van Dijk. Just a minor, Japan 1, Sweden 1 is the other game in this group. So Netherlands will win this group on points as things stand. Netherlands just over halfway, Depay. And now Cook Miners bends it down left hand side, but Gakpo knew he was offside. Depay on the run, not giving it up. It's gone back from Talbi to Darman. And that's a good closing down for Sunville. Blocking the pass of Ben Amida. Will be a goal kick to Tunisia, but it was a very good pressing from the front for Crescentia Sunville. 8 minutes left. All time in this match. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. So goal kick from Darman. Flicked on. Held up here from Astori. And then miscontrolled from the number 9 now. Grambert to Sunville. Sunville gliding over halfway. Sunville now sets away Dumfries. First time ball spinning towards the back post. It's clawed away from Darman. Should have really caught that. And then Valerie runs onto it. Valerie now short ball on the right for Hannibal. Hannibal nudged the ground from Ake. There was enough contact in my eyes for that to be the right decision from the referee. So Tunisia free kick just under midway inside their half. The Netherlands so dangerous on the counter. And Sunville and Dumfries combining. Dumfries' cross really should have been caught from Darman. No idea why he went to just claw it away. So another substitution here for Netherlands. Noah Lang is coming on for Cody Gakpo. Solid game for Gakpo. He's got a couple of goals in this tournament from last match against Sweden. So free kick for Tunisia. It will be a Talbi. Actually, I think Talbi's walked away from it. It will be Shaqiri to clip this one forwards. For Tunisia, yeah, indeed. Shaqiri now. It's going to be a flick on, headed down away from Van Dijk. A lift onto Chester Grambert. Grambert moves to the left in this half. Now Lang his first shots back for Ake. Ake smash it forwards, and Ake looks to be caught there from Showa. That was a strong challenge there. Yeah, it was. Firas Showa substitution, just showing his frustration, barging into Nathan Ake, but Ake, too fair, too quickly back on his feet. So just didn't really phase in that challenge at all. So Netherlands take the free kick on the right hand side with Dumfries. Backwards to feet of Koopmeiners. Bruggen square in the box to Koopmeiners. Now Van Ecke midway in this half. Van Ecke, easy pass to Van Dijk. Van Dijk from up to the halfway line. Van Dijk right footed. Noah Lang. Now Lang taking on his man. Lang now rolls in the box. Justin Kluivert on the byline. Kluivert, he wins a corner kick for Netherlands. Hitting that off Shaqiri. So corner kick on the left hand side for Netherlands. There's 5 minutes left, and there were worries whether it was forecast very bad weather, possible thunder and lightning that could this match be disrupted, but it's got to the 85th minute. No disruptions at all, but there has been heavy rain though for sure. So corner kick on the left hand side. Soon Koopmeiners to take. Being outswinger. Koopmeiners corner. Balls to Van Dijk. They just missed controls at the second attempt. Van Dijk now flicks it at Somerville. Somerville edge of box. Somerville on the byline. Somerville puts the low ball in. Cleared to Hannibal. And Tunisia now Hannibal whips it down the left, and now it's been chased down from Showa, and in the end Firas Showa can't get onto the ball. It was a good idea from Hannibal to try and set them way down the right flank. Throw for the Netherlands to take it with 4 minutes of normal time left. And the referee just looking at something here. Don't know what's why the referee blew a whistle just for Tunisia's throw to be halted. I'm not sure why. Anyway, back underway. So whatever's being checked, quickly over and done with. It actually might be in for a possible penalty of Van Dijk. At the other end a moment ago, Van Ecke pass over halfway, reaches Somerville. Short down the left here for Grambert. Back to Somerville. Somerville fights to keep hold of it. Does well. Somerville turns now. Somerville, brilliant feet. Now Dumfries, right side of the box. Dumfries cross. Flick to the end of the pie. Misses the ball when he tried the acrobatic strike, and Tunisia clear it away only as far as Koopmeiners. He gives it away to Hannibal. Hannibal now driving through the middle. Heavy touch. Van Ecke's clearance comes off his own man. And now Van Ecke has it back. And now Memphis Depay. Right edge of the box is Dumfries. Dumfries ball heavy, wants the back post. Now controlled from Noah Lang. Noah Lang onto his left foot. Lang's cross, but straight into the arms in the end of Darman. Netherlands in search of just happiness off and style. Long ball towards Showa. Just miscontrolled it though with his right foot. So Netherlands have it with Van Dijk. Ake to Kluivert. In the centre circle is Koopmeiners, tapped on halfway from Ake. Koopmeiners again, 2 minutes of normal time left. Netherlands have a 2-goal cushion over Tunisia and a 2-point cushion on Japan. At the top of the group at the moment, Japan 1 apiece with Sweden still. Antti Langa's beautiful curling cancel out. Dyson Midas opener. So 2 players scoring there, both behind their trade in the UK. Both have contrasting seasons though. Van Dijk. Short pass to Koopmeiners in the centre circle. Koopmeiners left footed. 4 yards over halfway with Noah Lang. Lang cuts in. Kluivert plays it back into Netherlands half. Ake, right footed. Netherlands 6 yards over halfway with Noah Lang. Now level with the centre circle, Lang. Inside it is Koopmeiners. Van Hecke over halfway to Dumfries. Spreads Koopmeiners in a bit of room. Koopmeiners down the inside right, just bounces off of Memphis Depay. And now Mastori goes for it from the centre circle, trying to catch up with Bruggen. Well wide though, Mastori looking to add to the goal he scored from the corner kick early on this half. But tried a spectacular from centre circle Mastori, but wide of the target. Just saw that Bruggen was slightly off his line, but couldn't catch him out. Still 3-1 to the Netherlands. So last substitution for Tunisia. Story's last act will be trying to score from the centre circle to bring Tunisia back to the end. Sebastian Tineki is on in this place. Now Netherlands left hand side with Lang. Infield to Depay. Ake. Netherlands midway in the Tunisia half, and Lang just hits off of Valerie. So 5 minutes of stoppage time to finish off this contest, which at the moment is Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. The Netherlands will be winning the group. As things stand, Sunville back now to Dumfries. On the halfway line with Van Dijk. So he's left to Ake. Now Noah Lang. Still Lang. Lang back here for Ake. Netherlands inside left. Just over 35 yards from goal with Lang. Behind him to Koopmeiners. Nathan Ake. Clips just off the ground on the left to Lang. Inside to Kluivert. Netherlands just get the ball with fun. It's like a glorified train session at the moment for the Oranje. Van Dijk with a switch. Sunville nods it back for Dumfries. Looking to stride down the right. Now it's Ashuri holds it up. Elias Ashuri needs help. Ashuri now moved back to his own box, but Ashuri clears it towards Hannibal. Clipped in the air from Ake. And Tunisia flick it backwards. Now it's in their own area. Memphis Depay miscontrols. And then it's cleared to safety from Mahmoud. Now Van Dijk back to Verbruggen. Minute and 20 seconds gone. A stoppage time at the end of this match. Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. Koopmeiners on the right to Dumfries. Back to Koopmeiners. Spider centre circle is Van Hecke. Diagonal ball. Control. Right footed from Lang. It's Lang gets Valerie. Hannibal's there for help now. Lang gets around Valerie in the box. Lang's ball looking towards the back post, but Tunisia just about get it clear. Ruben Owanes, Van Dijk heads towards the box, and Tunisia head away again. Hannibal chasing the ball down and just flicked out of play from Van Hecke for a Tunisia throw, which we taken just beyond the halfway line. It was great work for Lang a moment ago. Got around Valerie, and it was clearance from Abdic, bounced off the pie. Tunisia got it cleared. Second attempt by it was Mahmoud who cleared it. So here's Tunisia just in front of halfway with Hannibal. Clip forwards. And now control from Tineki. Tineki starts it on the right hand side. Now Mahmoud calling for it. It's Tineki once more. Tineki cross from the right hand side, and it's deflected behind for a corner kick for Tunisia. And if they do get one back, it'll probably be too little too late. Who knows? Then they have 2 minutes left to score 2 goals. So corner on the right hand side for Tunisia, as Hannibal has the ball under his right arm. So Tunisia all ready now to take the corner kick. So they'll be looking for the likes of Sakiri and Shawa from this corner on the right hand side. Hannibal to deliver, a minute and a half of stoppage time left. Hannibal's corner headed away from Van Dijk near post. Shot blocked from Van Hecke, and the shot came from Ashuri, and Netherlands clear for throw. Midway in their half, which is taken quickly for Hannibal. So Tunisia coming forwards with Tineki. Hannibal wide right. Hannibal now being taken towards the corner, fired by Koopmeiners. Hannibal gets a pass away, but it's straight to Ake. Now turn for Memphis Depay on Netherlands left. Now Noah Lang just can't play back. Netherlands box Ake. Just a minute stoppage time to go. Netherlands, can they maybe put the cherry on top of the cake? Get another one. Koopmeiners in between the two centre-backs. Square to Van Ecke, still one apiece by the way. Between Japan and Sweden. So Netherlands will win the group on points. And Sweden would be through to the knockout stages in third spot. And Dijk picks out Depay. Netherlands in the half for 20 seconds to go. Looking for their forward. Long ball from Ake. Straight back though to Ayman Darman. Darman short to Ben Amida. Ben Amida combines to Abdi. Now Talbi. Square across the box here. And Tunisia go towards halfway. Hannibal. There goes the final whistle. And Netherlands will top Group F. They've beaten Tunisia by 3-1 in what has capped off a dismal competition for Tunisia. Own goal from Sakiri, slicing into his own net from a Dumfries cross. Brian Brobby got his third of the tournament and Netherlands second. Dinked ball in from Reinders from the free kick. Van Dijk headed across the face of the box and Brobby turned in. Mastori gave Tunisia hope for 8 minutes. And Jan-Paul Van Ecke just over the hour mark. Got Netherlands 2-goal cushion back. Corner from Reinders. Van Ecke at the near post. Powerful header into the roof of net. And a very comprehensive victory for Netherlands here. In Kansas City, in the end, both sides survived the Kansas City rain. It was certainly a lot heavier in the second half. So job well done in Group F for Netherlands. Japan, Sweden still one apiece. So Netherlands will definitely be topping this group. So it's finished in Kansas. Tunisia 1,